Hello everyone, this is Lord Magicus, and we are here for the last round of Merfolk and Legacy. So this has been going kind of abysmally so far, and doesn't really look like we're doing much better in this last round. So I still have Tux and Fruit Kid are here, and I have another person watching too. I don't think I've spoken at all yet, so but. Yeah, I don't know about this hand, guys. I think that this is probably a mulligan.
That's probably a mulligan. This, you know what would be keepable is if it was this hand, but
Well,
that Silvergill was a watcher.
This looks much better.
That would probably been keepable. No, this is way better.
So here, I think, what do we put a?
God pitch a trickster.
Yeah, we put
God pitch a trickster.
Because we have like the combo and Vial, so if we ever draw Oracle, this could win, and we Chalice on one maybe will be a thing. We are on the draw, though, so maybe it won't be, but I think we're keeping this and we're doing exactly that. I just don't see this getting any better. And probably play... Oof, what do we care? I guess maybe Mutavault first, expose that to Wasteland.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Mutavault is just very whatever as a card.
Yeah.
And like all blue stuff is not very high priority to actually play on turn 2, and we can't do it anyway because.
What the fuck is this card? Oh my god, they're gonna. Okay, so first of all, you were playing this card in the era of Veil of Summer. They're gonna make us discard this Aboro.
That's actually less bad, mostly in that. Most Veiled decks won't even care about that card. They'll just say resolves, take one of my lands.
I've never seen this card played ever before.
It is kind of weird. Yeah.
So I guess
taking non-basics generally doesn't matter usually.
So yeah, we got a little bit punished with that, but we're very reliant on this Aether Vial resolving now, and they know what the gig is, or they know what the deal is with this paradigm shift.
Also F711, I'm pretty sure is a regular Anu watcher, so.
So.
I'm pretty sure they saw me and Anu play.
Yeah, here comes Force of Will. They pitched Delver of Secrets, so this looks like maybe Sultai Delver. Alright, well, I don't know what we could do about this. Like, we really need some help here. I guess if we draw... Well, we just need to draw more blue sources. And then maybe we have a shot. But I don't feel very confident in this.
Yeah, if we draw blue sources, then we can just, like, slam the Paradise Shift.
Oh my god, this is Death Shadow, isn't it?
Yep. Only deck that would play on Warground, actual Shocklands is Death Shadow.
They just sinkholed me.
Or blue-black... Hawks?
Well, they pitched a Delver of Secrets. Where the fuck were you, Force of Will, when I needed you, like, a turn ago? I don't know if I should be countering this or not.
No, don't counter it. That card doesn't matter.
Well, they're gonna know that we have Force in their hand, at least.
That's also fine.
So they only have one card left in their hand, so... Right? Okay, do I play this on 0, or do we just like?
No,
I don't think they don't have any 0s in their deck. Probably
they don't.
They only have one card left. It looks like, so maybe this Force will be good enough to save us from dying. Okay, well, we need to draw lands. That's not a land.
That is not. Yeah.
Okay, well, opponent, I need you to flood, and I need me to flood. I think I have to counter this, don't I?
You probably do, yeah.
So,
unfortunately for us.
What do we want to pitch here? Probably, like, Paradigm Shift, or I mean,
I would pitch the True Name.
We could pitch True Name because there's probably no chance that we're casting it.
It's either the True Name or the Trickster. We're not really gonna. Yeah, we're not casting.
Well, Trickster, I feel, might have some more value if they have Delver in their deck because at least they can keep us from dying. But
yeah,
right, I'm gonna pitch True Name because we're so far. Like we may be like infinity turns from casting it.
Super Infinity Tones from casting it.
Wasteland. Neat. So, we need to draw a basic island. Oh, fuck you. Deck.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want to play this. I think I want to wait for basic island first, so I can at least get the chalice out.
Island first. Not to put the chalice out, to just jam the shift.
That's also true, because then we'll end up drawing lands to recast everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
What a game. I have no idea what kind of nonsense this is. They're playing Encroach and Sinkhole, so they like really are hating on our lands. This is, look at this! Turn 4, turn 5, turn 5, turn 6, turn 6, like... Oh my god. What a game.
This is a very legacy game here, where one person has all the permanents and the other person has none of them.
Fuck. I guess I discard Baron. Because we're never, like, casting him.
I would discard the Master. Baron could maybe do something, even though we're not really casting him.
I guess, yeah.
What Baron can do potentially is we Bio Oracle if something weird happens, and the first trigger doesn't just win the game.
We're never gonna Vile Oracle. They surgical extraction all of them.
No, as in bounce Oracle, we play it the next turn, because we're gonna have at least two shots at doing this Oracle thing if it actually happens.
Well, I guess we're gonna discard Trickster here. Oh my god. I don't even know if I want to discard Trickster, though, because they might surgical it out of our hand.
That's whatever.
Whatever, I guess we have to. So they have 4 cards, and yet they haven't done anything yet, so what the hell's going on? God. This is insane. Played Underground Sea, so I guess... They're not drawing anything relevant, it looks like, so... Maybe their hand is just full of, like, counter spells.
Maybe.
This is turn 9, we haven't, like, played anything. But they haven't done anything either. Fuck. Legacy is a format sometimes.
It sure is.
Oh my god. Alright. Snow-covered island, here we go. Alright. Pass. So the question is, do we just jam Silvergill Adept first?
No, I think we just jam shift. Regardless of anything. YOLO. I mean, we could jam Silvergill if we really wanted.
Oh, come on! Fuck!
Yeah.
Fuck! I kind of want to play this Chalice on 1 to turn off all this stupid bullshit.
Yeah, I could see that too, but it's just so... nothing bad.
At least the cavern is in the graveyard if we ever do shift so that we can put, like, eventually draw it with the Oracle. So we have, like, all of the cards we need, at least 3 lands, and one of them, you know, there's a forest and a cavern to, like, beat their answers. But I really want this on 1 so that we can shut them down the way that they're shutting us down. But I'm very afraid that they have, like, force and it's not going to do anything and they just wasteland us. Pro move would be to draw another snow-covered island. Which we have 10 more in the deck. We chose not to shuffle. That can't be good news.
Maybe it's actually a threat.
That means...
And then we're going to actually die now.
It might be...
Oh, it's StifleNaught. Cool.
Well, that's bad.
If we can draw island into cavern, then we can win. Or more like, make them have to do stuff here.
Okay.
Lol, they phased it out. Okay, that's fun. It's, I guess, about the same thing as stifling it.
So we really want basic island here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to take 12 from the first time.
Well, not if we just tricks to it.
Okay, but we might only get to cast one spell. Okay, never mind, we're dead.
We're dead.
We have to, like, run lands off the top here. Sure. This Chalice on 1 would be so good. Like, almost every spell they've cast this game is a 1-mana spell.
It would be really good, we just didn't find it at all.
Ah, fuck. Alright, let's try to think about what it is that we need to, like, beat this deck in the sideboard. Probably, like, Force of Negation.
Yeah, Force of Negation could do some work, although not that much work.
Well, they're going to cast, like, if they want to get their primary, stifle thing on, they really need to cast these in their turn. Alright, well, we need to draw a land and to another land, or we are dead.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's something.
That's a land. That means that we don't immediately die, although they have a pretty good chance of just having force here.
We have to do this before they draw one, I guess.
Yeah, and they just hardcast force and we're dead, but whatever, we can't do anything about that anyway.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Or that works too.
Alright. Alright, well, that was a thing. I guess Harbinger might be okay. Because they have Delver, and, like, bouncing that thing back to their hand seems like it's really good, too.
Yeah, Harbinger's good.
So I guess what else, do we want what do we want to take out here?
Pass to the Pole Trident.
they're a Force Daze deck, so
yeah.
Cut 2 of these, and so do we want Force of Negation, and if so, then what do we want to take out for it?
That's rough. Fencer can also do some stuff.
It can, but I think if they're going to be playing a bunch of
I don't like the combo. I also don't like Masters very much.
Well, if they're playing Sinkhole, I don't think we're ever casting Venser.
Yeah.
I mean, I could cut 2 Thassa's Oracles and just bring in 2 Forces. I guess I could... They probably have, Plague Engineer, too. Which it's gonna suck. Alright, I'll cut 1 Master and 1 Thassa's Oracle, bring in 2 Forces. Executive decision. This is the one match where it might actually be good to have a bunch of lands to start off with. I mean, it's not the worst. I guess we just play Tolaria.
Yeah, we play Tolaria West into Silvergill into True Name and hope that's good enough somehow.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're protected against stupid sinkhole shenanigans, so... Watery Grave. Okay, what would you like to do with it? Honda, go for it. So, alright, do we want to play the island? I think we play the Cavern of Souls first, because we're already going to get wastelanded either way, and I think we just want to play around Days with the Silvergill.
That's fair.
And then if they also have that 1 mana card, they can't take the Cavern out of our hand. That's not terrible. So, yeah, we have to go Merfolk here. I kind of want to show the Harbinger and not the True Name. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'd rather not show the True Name. That would, encourage them to wasteland us.
Yeah, let's not let them do that. Harbinger is likely to get pitched to Force right now. Well, that's not bad either. Maybe that actually now Silvergill might be the prime Force food.
Maybe, yeah, since we're not really keen on casting it, since we're just gonna jam True Name into True Name.
Yeah, and then even if they resolve like the Dreadnought or whatever, we have Harbinger to answer it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, come on, opponent. What do you got? Show me your secrets. Just jam your fucking Dreadnought, so I can force your Vision Charm or whatever. Oh my god! Of course. Why would they not have this?
Of course they have it. Of course they have it.
Well, I guess Silvergill's
That's okay.
probably getting cast this turn.
Yes, it is.
Interesting. Beautiful. Alright. So I guess we attack first.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You gonna, like, surgical me? I think I just let them do that, yes? I don't think I want to, like, they're gonna get to see our hand, but I don't think I'm really worried about losing Cavern right now. We have enough mana sources and we can just cast things. Alright, let's go for it. Okay, they did manage to collect the one in the graveyard too. I'm always curious.
Which is actually relevant for us now.
Yes, it is. Sometimes they forget about that.
That's usually not relevant for us, but now that we have shifted the mix, it's relevant.
So they're using this as kind of like a cool land destruction peak effect. So, okay. Well, I guess they know what's going on here, so we may as well attack first. I guess just cast Silvergill Adept.
Yeah.
They might daze it, but if they do, who cares? They already know our whole hand, so... That helps, because that means we can definitely get to True Name mana. Do I hear a doggy in the background? Is that what's going on? Sorry. No worries. So you got Underground Sea, so it's not like Death Shadow right now. Okay, sure. Sinkhole. I guess there was maybe reason to counter it, but I think the fact that we have 2 more lands in hand means I'm not that worried. That's actually relevant here. Kill him. Look, and you're like, Master's not going to do anything. Master's going to help us kill him, like, next turn. So let's see. Sinkhole's not doing its job this time. And the Lord is actually doing something relevant. It just, like, helped us clock them here.
I think the more relevant part is the lack of action that they're up to, completely and utterly.
Plague Engineer.
I guess this is a rough force because
they're probably gonna daze, but at the same time, I think I need to do this anyway.
Also, you pick the True Name because if it sticks and they kill the wall, the True Names are not gonna do anything anyway.
Yeah. And I mean, this also means that they just didn't have it, so that was their whole plan here. Seeing the Plague Engineer makes me want this Dismember a little bit more.
Yes, it does.
Alright, so do we just totally abandon the combo hope, or what do we want to do with this? I think we had a pretty good... Maybe not Force of Negate. Like, they're on the play, though, so maybe we have to do this to protect our lands more. I really don't like Force, but... it's rough. Whatever. Again, I'm gonna get rid of Paradigm Shift. You know what? I don't even want to. I don't want to even dream that I'm gonna combo here. Whatever. The Lords are better against Plague Engineer. Alright, screw it. We're gonna win a fair game. That's our plan.
Yeah.
We've comboed exactly one time this entire league, and yeah, it feels like it was pretty miserable. Probably playing Pure Wizards is just like better, because Watcher of Tomorrows is just like so much stronger.
That is my feeling about it, yeah.
This hand seems okay. Go Basic Island, Mutavault, Silvergill Adept, maybe into Trick or True Name. I think that we keep this. Do you have an opinion?
Yeah, I think we keep that.
Alright. Alright, yeah, I have to... It's their upkeep, so... Watery Grave, what are you gonna do? Shock yourself. You got, like, Ponder going on. Do I want to protect Mutavault, or do I not care?
I don't think you want to care about this.
I don't think so either. I just hate it because it lets them know what our hand is like, so then they can just, like, sequence their plays better. Alright, draw lands like a champion. Come on, deck. Deck, what are you doing to me? This is not funny. Harbinger. This is actually, I don't know, a rough choice as to what I would have to pitch to force. I'm leaning towards Harbinger.
Yeah, I like Harbinger here because we just want to have everything else.
Ah, fuck.
I would just let this go.
Yeah, I think
probably.
I have. Yeah, I think I have to. They took True Name and Silvergill. Whatever. Deal.
Yeah. Just like either they get it or they get it.
It's going to be two cards no matter what we do. So
yeah.
Please draw land. Please draw land. Oh God, no. We're doomed.
Oh no.
Unless it's like the first game in which they just don't actually ever do anything, then maybe.
Well, they didn't do anything the second game either, so.
Yeah, it seems like their deck does struggle with doing things. Alright, let's see what's going on. Sure. It's probably fine. What if they surgical my Silvergill? Never mind. Okay, they're brainstorming. I just want my 50 points. Like, I need to win this game so I at least get something back. Ugh, that's not inspiring. Alright, what now? Okay, more cantrips is probably fine. Gives us another chance to, like, start drawing the land and Silvergill our way to victory. Sort of. Go ahead. Oh God. Well, at least that's probably getting pitched to force. Here we find ourselves again on the brink. No hope. I'm assuming. Oh, fuck. Alright. Yeah, I think I just have to let this go again. Because, again, we could pitch force, but it doesn't really mean anything. Alright, well, we pitched the irrelevant cards.
I double block something. Okay.
Ugh. Alright. That's fine.
Hey, at least we can kill that thing.
Yeah.
Probably want to untap and see if we draw a land. Cause like,
Do you want to play around days? Yeah, that makes sense.
yes, if it doesn't change really, like going like Dismember into Silvergill is not gonna really be very good for us relative to Dismember for sure and
Yeah.
Silvergill eventually.
Yeah, I agree.
If we're gonna get something dazed, we'd rather get the Silvergill dazed.
Yep. Agree. Alright.
Oh, we just do it because it doesn't get any better than this.
Alright. Gurmag Angler, go away. At least we can pitch the Baron at this point.
Yeah.
This has to resolve, though. It's so...
I mean, we have a chance here because of the Harbinger.
Yeah, alright, I guess we force this. We're kind of all in on it at this point, so... Alright, that's some good news, I guess. But they still know what our hand is. They've seen these two cards, so... Play to land, and pass. Okay. Alright, Silver go first. See if we can get something going here. Okay, it resolved. That's a great sign.
Sweet.
Okay. That's also fine.
We will accept land. Land is acceptable.
Yeah. We just have to like hope Plague Engineer doesn't come down. I assume Death Shadow has to be in this deck, and that's why they have Watery Grave, but they haven't shown us one yet, so... Their threats appear to be Gurmag Angler, the Dreadnought, and then probably Death Shadow. So if we draw Chalice, that would be fantastic.
That would be fantastic.
Would snap play that. That has to be bad. That means Engineer, probably. That's actually worse somehow.
Ow!
Oh god. Gurmag Angler's coming
dear.
back. So I guess the Master first? Do we, like, wait with this thing, or...?
I guess. It's just rough now. It's just all kinds of rough.
Yeah. Like... I don't really want to play Harbinger until the Gurmag comes back out. What if they -2 to get Gurmag Angler back? You know what? Never mind, it doesn't matter. None of this matters.
Yeah, nothing matters. Joy.
Please try to wasteland my Oboro. Vision Charm, they milled... Oh god, they put Engineer in the graveyard. We are fucked. Because they can just get Engineer back now. Which they did take, so they're gonna play it this turn. Neat. Alright, can we top deck another Dismember? How good at Magic cards are we? They chose Merfolk. Shocking. That's not terrible, actually. So
It isn't, but it's also not really enough.
No, not really.
That Lily over there is problems? It just gets back the engineer we're about to trade with?
Yeah, kinda. Do we do Trickster this thing, right? Or
You do, because at least this would use up the Lily when they get back the Plague Engineer. If they do it this turn anyway. They might just uptick and then downtick.
yeah, I don't think they're going to uptick, or they're not going to downtick Lily this turn. I think that...
Yeah.
Well, they're hard casting
But we
Force.
gotta hope that they do something like that. Or they just have Force and we're just super dead.
Well, not... I don't know. Like, I guess... Maybe Baron could help us if we draw it. Oh, there... No, okay, well, that actually is sort of fine.
That's great for us, yes.
Because now...
Lily is super scary, and we actually have a chance at something.
Yeah, so they're just going to play Gurmag Angler here, in which case Harbinger can bounce it back and buy us some time until we find Dismember or something.
Yeah.
Baron is also still really good here. Maybe Dismember is fine as well. I guess I have to take 7 damage off of this and then Harbinger next turn. So, neat. This is definitely not great. It's a little bit late for that to matter. Actually, hold on. Undo. I want to do this on their... No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this on their turn. I want to flash in Harbinger.
On the combat step?
I think so. Right?
I don't want to do that. I want to do it right now because they have days.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Option.
They can just replay it right away. Yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah, they can replay it right away anyway.
Alright, may as well then.
In all likelihood, we're just dead to like...
Anything.
Anything, yeah.
Yes, actually. So I should not turn off auto yields because I need to bounce the Saboro back if they ever wasteland it. Or, yeah, I don't want to yield through that. Alright, I'm trying to think what keeps us alive here. I guess Baron, right? That's the only...
Baron's the big one, yeah.
I can't afford to block this. I have to block the Gurmag Angler with it.
Yep.
Dismember is now offline.
Any other bounce spell would help.
I'm assuming...
As soon as like the Gurmag Angler is mostly neutralized, then we're in okay shape. Although that was a mistake on their part. They should have just delved a lot deeper here.
Fuck me.
That's perfect. That right there is just like the draw step of this train wreck.
Yeah. I'm tempted to just cast it anyway.
Oh yeah, absolutely, just cast it. Just do it. Just do it.
Well, technically, if we draw Baron next turn, I can bounce Gurmag and block the Plague Engineer and not die. I really want to cast this Dismember, though.
We're like a 0.01% chance to win type of thing.
You're gonna double
got him
wasteland
a
this
little
thing.
bit.
Bite me. Okay. I'm playing Chalice on 2. Okay, you win. We are super dead.
Yeah.
So, this league was a disaster. Yeah, I guess let's go and look at our deck. Let's look at this pile of failure. Yeah, Merfolk is just, like, not a thing in Legacy now. Wizards are a thing in Legacy, and some people are thinly disguising it as Merfolk with this, but yeah, I don't think that we should really be playing the Lord in this deck. I think that the Watcher of Tomorrows is just, like, way too good to not be playing it instead.
I mean, the biggest reason why I shifted to Watcher of Tomorrow was less the selection and mostly to take out Silvergill.
Yeah, that's also a thing. It's just so much better than that, because, you know, why would you just want the top card at random when you can look at one of the top 4 cards and take that instead? I mean, it's actually much better against Plague Engineer, too, because they don't really want that thing to die, because they're going to give you back a card that you dug for instead of just a random card when it comes in.
Right. And also, like, it actually works really well with Plague Engineer, because if Plague Engineer is already in play on Wizard, then you can stack the triggers properly to just Impulse.
We didn't get to...
It's not bad, it's just Impulse.
Yeah, no, I think Impulse is fine. We didn't get to see much of this card today, but I don't know. I still think this is fine with Baron, but I don't know. Like, if you want to play Merfolk, then definitely don't play Paradigm Shift. Like, don't even pretend that that's going to be a thing in this deck.
Yeah, if you're actually going to play actual Merfolk, but we're so past that point, I feel like.
Yeah, things have to change in Legacy. I think the biggest problem right now is that Chalice of the Void is just, like, not a really good card in this format anymore. It just gets undermined too much, and, like, where it used to be good at least most of the time, now it's, like, actually kind of bad at least half of the time, so I don't know if that's good enough for us to want to, like, be main decking 4 of these things.
Mostly not.
And, like, there's the same problem. Like, Force is a necessary card, but, like, there's too much pressure against it where, like, we can't just back it up with Dinks anymore because it just takes, like, one Veil of Summer and you lose the entire game. You 2 for 1 yourself and your opponent, like, just 0 for, 2s you. It's so bad. Or, yeah, it's just incredibly difficult. And I actually like Baron a lot. I think this card has some potential in this format, especially with Aether Vial. Just probably not with, like, the Merfolk. So maybe Riptide Lab kind of screwed us one time, but it also was sort of good another time. So I don't know. This card's probably fine.
I really, really like Riptide in the Wizard variant because it's, like, super duper duper important in that variant.
Yeah. Well, imagine just bouncing back the Watcher of Tomorrows with this thing. It's It's
so good. It's
the value of this card goes, like, through the fucking roof when you do that. So, other than that, like, we didn't go up against, like, Storm, so we didn't, or, like, and not, like, a lot of Reanimator, so we didn't really see, like, the sideboard cards matter a whole lot. But I think these are, in general, these are still fine sideboard cards. But yeah, I don't know. I really hate to say it. Like, the same way that I have like kind of moved on from Merfolk and Historic, I just don't think that this is a deck that we want to be playing in Legacy anymore.
Yeah, no.
It makes me sad. I mean, if you really want to play Merfolk, probably just play, like, blue-green Merfolk with no chalices and just play, like, Okos in your deck instead with, like, 1,000,000 Lords and pray. That'd be my advice. I think if you have to play Merfolk, something like that.
I've tried that, and it mostly doesn't work.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, the problem, like, if you want to play, like, something like that, is that it's hard to play Daze in the sort of list that wants to play Oko, because we don't have, like, a lot of really good one-drops to really, protect with Daze that matter. Where, like, Delver, play that and back it up with Daze is actually very good. Yeah, like, Merfolk really needs to, like, not be bouncing lands back to its hands, because you have to curve up as quickly as you can. So if you can play Daze in your deck along with Oko, this card gets so much better. But it's good in this deck, but it's not nearly as good as it is in a deck like Rogue Delver. But I mean, even if you were going to do this, I would say, like, you know what, don't even worry about stuff like Shift, and don't worry about, like, Thassa's Oracle. Just go and
play the individual good cards, yeah, that we used to play.
Yeah, just play, like, find, like, Mara Regery and add them to the deck, and find, like...
Just find, between Oko,
Yeah, you
Blue
play.
green stuff.
I don't even know if like I would want Veil of Summer in here. Like honestly, like
I don't really feel like Veil of Summer's that good.
yeah, I don't feel like it is either. And then maybe like one more 1-drop or another land or something, but you would want something closer to this. Maybe you could even put another Force of Negation into the main deck or something. Oops. There we go. I don't know, maybe something like this would be like a way to play actual Merfolk, but just the way that Legacy is right now, yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in this kind of stuff, because like I said, even in the sideboard, like, this card, Chalice, is just... Chalice used to be one of our strengths. We got to play Chalice and Force, and that was like the thing that made us good. And we also got to play True Name Nemesis uncounterably, but like all the things that made Merfolk good are just like severely undermined by all the fire design cards, like Plague Engineer and Oko and Veil of Summer and Arkham's Astrolabe. Like, they just really hurt. So
Yeah, and in this build, the only thing that's like properly new is Oko. It's not good enough.
Right,
You have
yeah.
to play at least 2 or 3 2019-2020 cards to
yeah,
compete.
we don't have the juice, as you like to put it, to really kind
Yeah.
of help us keep up with this stuff. At least in Modern, like, sort of we can play, but like Nikachu's been struggling a lot in Modern, just trying to find a deck that can beat like the Jund decks. And yeah, they have gotten a lot of new cards like Kroxa and Luris and stupid nonsense like that.
They've gotten a lot of the juice.
Like basically, and Ren and 6, like everything in their deck just draws an extra card now. So like you can't outgrind them the way that you used to. And kind of the same way like in Legacy, it's really hard to out-tempo the decks, because like the cards that we were using to try to do that are just so much weaker now. So,
Yeah.
So that's why
It's
like
very clunky. Even the wizard shift list is really
yeah, like wizards are still like, it's sketchy, because like you said, you have to draw both halves of the combo, and
you pretty much have to do it naturally. Like, the Watcher helps in that you can select, like, the selection from Watcher is really huge in that regard, and that you don't have to fully naturally draw them, but it wants to play like 8 Watcher, the way like the cantrip decks play 8 like
yeah,
Brainstorm and Ponder. Like, you like, for that deck to really work, I feel like long term, it needs another 2-drop, good 2-drop like card advantage thing. Like, if I could put Silvergill on the deck, maybe, but there's no way I can deal with the Merfolk count.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of a problem. So yeah, I don't really have like the answer to how to fix all this stuff, honestly. Like, I think Magic is very, very far over the line of where, like, you know, you can just suggest like a simple fix to this problem. It's probably going to get worse before it gets better, because
it's going to get a lot worse, because
even if Wizards of the Coast
design goes out for a pretty long time.
Yeah, this is where I'm going with this. Like, even if they realized immediately after, like, you know, Modern Horizons, like, oh fuck, we actually should not be designing cards like this. Yeah, it normally takes them like a year and a half at the absolute earliest where they could like implement a change that would actually affect the upcoming set. So we are only about a year into that, so we still probably have at minimum 6 more months of this, if not a full another year, before significant design changes would actually get implemented. So it's probably going to continue to get worse, and it doesn't really look like they're in a hurry to try to like fix the problems with like bans. More what's happening is they seem to be just picking a format for like each card to like have a home in, and then just trying to make the format just have to learn to accept that card.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's why Oko is still legal in Legacy, because they just like, if
Legacy is going to turn into a dumping ground of all the things, like Astrolabe and and Oko and like
it's
ugh.
and it's like the form, like
I'm
it's
almost
hard.
glad that Wasteland exists for Ren 6 to abuse so hard, because like the problem with like the other cards is that they don't abuse the format explicitly. Like, you can't play Magic anymore the way Wasteland Red was.
Yeah, well, I mean, to some degree,
It's
like
just
there are some.
You can still play Magic. It's just that the Magic you're allowed to play is bad.
Yeah, I agree.
What I missed, by the way, I'm sorry, I was in like here for basically the entirety of this conversation.
That's okay.
We're just complaining about 2020.
Yeah, well, no,
Yeah.
we're at the end of our league here, so like we're just talking about like we're reviewing kind of how things went and what the fundamental problems are. So
I wouldn't. I mean, honestly, like, I think like. I think power creep is just inevitable, and I think like I kind of do miss. I honestly will say I do miss their design of sets of how they used to be, where they would design based on the previous set. Lingering Souls, Thunder Maul, Hellkite, all the things. How they would. That's how like
Right.
they would design stuff.
That is how it was, and that's how it should be.
But
and
the problem is it takes so long.
And well, I like that. And
and that's why I don't think power creep is inevitable, because they've controlled power creep for years.
Yeah, it's not even necessarily like power creep in that it's more like things kind of shift sideways a lot of the times, where it's like you have a ton of really strong cards. It's just that you're changing what the rock paper scissors of like what the strong cards are good against in any given format. So
and I agree. Like if we were to talk like 2 years ago, I would always say like that's the one beautiful thing that Magic has done, is just like you could play any deck and like do have a reasonable chance and just have fun with whatever you want, whether it be Merfolk, humans. Sure, there are some decks that are stronger, but it's not like you're completely like I never felt hopeless against humans when I was playing Merfolk.
I get that.
And I think like if they want to continue this, because like it doesn't seem like they're going to be going to their old ways of designing cards, which is a shame. But if they are, at least give the kind of do what Yu-Gi-Oh does, where they just like buff the other archetypes that are clearly struggling and help them bring them up to the pace of the powerful things.
Well,
if we're not going to,
that's what we hope.
Any balancing advice from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of what people thought Modern Horizons was going to be for, and then it ended up like not really doing that.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I know. That's why I was hoping it would be.
I think
horrible for the format.
You could say.
Well, not even that, but like for Legacy too, like it introduced a ton of cards, like even like Plague Engineer, that I don't think are really good in the format, because the cards like they're not bannably bad, but they have an effect in the format that shift it in a bad direction. Like it hurts decks like elves and goblins, and even like Death and Taxes like way too much for like a main deck card. Like
yeah.
It's that sledgehammer design that's just like a problem, I think.
Yeah, and if you ask me too, at least I think this in Modern, I think like creature decks are like the hardest decks to play in Modern these days. Like with decks like Merfolk.
Well, it depends. Like creature combo decks are a little bit easier to play, but when you're playing with like Primeval Titan or like Vizier of Remedies,
tribal aggro decks are like the hardest decks to play in Modern.
It's more like fair decks, I guess, is kind of where like if you're.
You can be Jund and still like shit on people. I mean, that's a fair deck.
Well, okay. See, this is kind of where I'm going with this, though. Like, where is the line between like fair and unfair? Like, do you think like Luris Jund was like a fair deck because like technically it was, but like in another very real sense, it kind of wasn't.
I mean,
and when the problem is like when every card has like draw a card stapled to it, like that line between fair and unfair really blends a lot. Like, and
everyone's just playing their Tarmo Drifters.
I'd kind of define it in a way where like fair is where you're cheating the resource system. So if everything that you're doing is just saying draw a card stapled on top of it, that's kind of cheating the resource system, and like you're really pushing the boundaries of like what you can reasonably call fair. And that's the problem with Standard right now. You see like Uro and Growth Spiral and like all those fucking cards. It's just like, let me do a thing and draw a card and just continue to like build up to this like critical mass that even if you like interact with it, it's not going to do anything, because it's just pushing things towards the end way too quickly. So
I think a lot of the issues that they make them instant speed. I think that's sometimes like drawing a card is really good, but I think also like limiting them to like just make them sorcery speed. Like I guarantee Growth Spiral wouldn't be that bad. I mean, because it's just explore.
A lot of it is just raw undercost. Cause
that too.
Yeah,
that's what Magic is talking about. Everything is just raw undercosted.
Right, because I think they've explained before. Like drawing a card is like is like technically costed at 1.5 mana, right? But there's no 0.5, so it's 2 mana.
Yeah, it's like 2 mana. Drawing a card is typically 2 mana.
So, I don't know. There's a lot of like fundamental problems with the way the design is, and I think we just kind of see how it really affects like the way that we can play in Legacy at this point, and I mean in every other format too. But since we were playing Legacy today, we kind of like focused a little bit more on this. Like, don't get me wrong. Like Pioneer and Modern and Standard all have like similar issues to them to varying degrees, but the bans help somewhat with that, and the lack of bans in some of those formats hurt a lot. Like, I think Team of Reclamation has just been like doing stupid shit, and like Pioneer's attendance has not been doing a whole lot better since they chose not to ban cards, and like, yeah, like
Pioneer's just combo format now.
The design just like hurts everything, and I think in a very fundamental sense, like a lot of the cards, like saying Veil and Astrolabe and Oko undermine the important police cards that keep all the degeneracy in check, and like now it's just difficult to play like a fair kind of deck like this, so you kind of have to resort to doing the unfair thing as hard as you possibly can. And I think kind of like what Tux was getting at, playing the Master of the Pearl Trident in this deck is not doing it as hard as you can. So like that's why I think this deck just kind of fundamentally fails that. Playing something that's gonna get that do combo harder is just gonna be better than this. So,
and also like this deck is super variant. Like you can go really really hard with this because if you just naturally draw both halves every game, you're gonna go really far.
Yeah, and like that's I think a lot of the reason why
you didn't like do anything to do that.
Yeah, that's why we've seen like this deck like throw up a lot of top 8 or like 5-0s or whatever, because it turns out, if your deck does like run really hot, then it does like just combo in turn 3, and it's like uncounterable a lot of the time. So it can be really good, but there's a huge variance to like how it works because of having to draw both halves without a lot of help. So either you're gonna like 1-4 or like 0-5, or you're gonna like 4-1 or 5-0 with it a lot of times. And the higher the variance is on a deck, the more likely it is you're gonna see it in a deck list dump. So that definitely has some factor to it. But I'm going to end this now. I hope everybody was thoroughly entertained with the Legacy stuff for this week. I don't know when the next time I'm going to do Legacy is going to be. I prefer to focus on some of the other slightly more enjoyable to play formats at the moment. But I would like to thank everybody who's watching this on YouTube at the moment, and I would like to thank all of the fish friends that have joined me for the recording of these. So thanks everybody, and I will see you again next time.